Oh, I'm not. It's not? It sure is. You're right.
That looks like the white right there. And that looks like the right in front of us.
That's the guy from Pittsburgh. 3 times.
Come on, Shane. You show him, Shane. Let's go. That's what you need. Good job, Keith. Good job, Keith. All right, Keith.
There's somewhere else. So I tell him to pick it up? Yeah. We will.
Good job, down the road.
He's growing with each step. William, drink water. William.
In 4th place from Pearl High School, Thomas Walker. And in 3rd place, with a time of 16:43 from St. Andrews, William Drinkwater.
Hey, Joey, what's the time? Come on, William!
I said 8th grader.
All right, William, you're doing awesome! Pick it up! So cool.
Go get him, Will. Go get him, Clayton. Go get him, man. Go get him, man. Come on, Ben. Let's go.
Still up front? Here they come.
It goes away.
Are they coming? Are they coming? Here, you gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch. You can't see unless you sit up there. Here they come. They're gonna come up the hill. Come on, William! Way to run, William! 17-20.
the line and watch it start.
I did that last night. I think I'm going to get a different perspective this time.
Come on, Tyler!
Oh, I know. I'm saving my breath. Go Vicksburg!
Way to go, Will!
Can't do it one time. Too complicated.
much warmer than last night. Yeah, the corner of my eye, he has that hat on too. I almost smacked him with the ball.
Uh-oh. I've been hit with worse.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, what a runner. He looks older. Slow down.
I went through Big Bird, keep moving. 17, 14, 15, 16.
17, 16.
Slower. Where's Williams?
He was very behind. I know. Well, we'll just stand here. So
Here he comes.
I got too hot.
Didn't get you, did he?
Yep, he got sick. I think he got too hot today.
Everybody stretch.
Tends to be quite fast. Yes.
He's out front.
Williams out front.
I
Where
heard
is
somebody say, "Come on, Williams."
He can catch him. Go, William!
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Looking good, looking good. Guy from Piney Woods.
Oh, okay. My child is just passing him film here. Wow, he's pretty good.
Come on,
Go William!
Go, William! Let's go, let's do it! Go, William!
Go William!
You got it, William!
a picture of this, don't you? $7.28. She also gets a T-shirt. She gets a T-shirt from the National Guard, being the winner. Great race, young lady. Another outstanding runner that was second was Anna Rose Poole, another great runner from St. Andrews. There, they've had a great time running each other every year, running every race. They run each other every race. Then there's, of course, we had to call St. Andrews for 7 times. So Laura Young, you're the bronze medal winner. Laura Young, she gets the bronze medal right there. Nicole Jumper, St. Andrews. Nicole Jumper, St. Andrews, there she is. Laura Mortimer, St. Andrews. Another young one coming on. Laura Mortimer, 7th grader. Kathy Southwick, St. Andrews, 9th grader, Kathy Southwick. I don't know if that's ever happened in the state meet before, but it happened today. Here we have another Rivlin coming on, Katie Rivlin. All right, Sarah gonna have to wheel her. You're gonna have to wheel her all your ability, Sarah. Wheel her your ability, and then when she gets that age, we'll have another Rivlin stepping forward. In 8th place, making All-State, Shakita Powell of West Tallahatchie. Shakita, to add this over to see who won, they got the scores so close. St. Andrews has 15. That's a perfect score, folks. That's what you call it cross country, a perfect score. All those people get the T-shirts from the National Guard, the whole team. All right. In St. Andrews is the winner with 15 points. Second place, Our Lady Academy. And Our Lady Academy has been second to St. Andrews for 4 years, I believe. Matumi Delamos of Piney Woods, step out there. Matumi Delamos of Piney Woods. They already gone. Both of them. Akil Joseph of Piney Woods was second, so both of them have already gone. William Drinkwater, St. Andrews, he gets the bronze medal. Drinkwater, there's a young 8th grader. He gets the bronze medal from St. Andrews. Jared Thompson of Choctaw Central. Choctaw Central.
He's a nice kid.
Clayton Coker, St. Andrews.
Okay, Clayton!
Coker, St. Andrews. Chad Caswell of Casewell, St. John. Chad Casewell. St. John, there he is.
I remember him.
Jonathan Harris of St. Andrews.
John had a like 30 seconds.
Okay, Jonathan!
Chris Grillis of St. Andrews.
Well, I just didn't have any well.
Michael Neisner, St. Andrews. Is that the way you pronounce that, Michael?
Huh?
Neisser, Michael Neisser, St. Andrews. Gaines Sturdiment, St. Andrews. Eli Lazarus, St. Andrews. Marcus Taylor of Sandy Woods is gone, and 13th, Scotty Wallace of Choctaw Central. Choctaw Central. Emmett Scott of John F. Kennedy. That's your 14th. That's your All-Staters. Let's give them a hand, folks. All right. Sarah Rivlin, would you come to the tent a minute, please? Sarah Rivlin. Sarah, would you come to the tent just a minute? Here is your champions of the year, the 1999 state champions. For the boys, again, we have double winners from the same school. St. Andrews with 29 points. Piney Woods with 58. Choctaw Central with 94. Fourth place, John F. Kennedy. Fifth place, William Sullivan. O'Bannon, sixth place. Philadelphia, seventh. Riverside, 8th. And Union, 9th. The champions from St. Andrews.
All right. Yes, sir. Come on, coach. All right, John.
I bet I've got this so wet I can't take a picture now. I left it open, honey, at the booth. It's not very good.
Welcome this evening. I'm the boys cross country coach, John Applegate. And let me get the runners up here. I have the following runners: Trey Crook, Chris Deacon, Kurt Griffith, Philip Hunter, Charles Irby, Douglas McRae, Joey, Tyler. Okay. All right. Well, here's the future of cross country at St. Andrews for the boys. Fine job this year. This is Charles Irby, and he ran very well for us. His fastest time was very close to being able to letter. The requirement to letter is to run under 21 minutes for first year. This is Charles' first year out, and he was a welcome addition to the team. His knee got a little hurt at the end, so he had to slow down, but otherwise a fine runner. Next, Philip Hunter, first year out for cross country. And he's my secret weapon when we play ultimate frisbee. He's like catching. I don't know if he's that good at a thrower, but he can sure catch. Trey Cook, right here. This is Trey's second year out for running, and I was really impressed with his improvement this year. He really, it took him a little while to get serious this year. Last year he wasn't serious at all about running. He really did a great job. Toward the end, his fastest time was 50 job. And right at the end of the year, he ran an excellent time. I look for a trade letter next year. Next is Chris Deacon. And Chris, this year was really probably the leader for the 7th, 8th grade guys in his second year out for the team, and really showed a lot of dedication to the run, to running, and did a fine job for us. And he was out practicing when he didn't need to be to try and run as fast as the jitney jog at the end of the year. Next is Kurt, and lift your head up now. I know, Chris. But Kurt, again, first year runner. I look for him to do well in the future as a 9th grader coming out to run for the first year. He really lowered his time. His first year, I'll really embarrass him now. Well, not yet. His first time was over 31 minutes for a 5K, and his fastest time was a little later on in the season in October at 24:21. So that's his fastest. Another fine line of Odoms. A great crew. My first year at St. Andrews, when I came and watched a baseball game in the back of what I thought was a pig farmer's pickup truck, and we were watching the baseball game, and all of a sudden the pig farmer reaches through his cab and brings out a cellular phone and tells some poor lady in labor that he'll be right there. I mean, I'm kind of surprised, and I always loved the Odoms ever since. Kyle Odom ran for me in '88, was a great runner. Guy Odom always threatened to come running, but never quite made it. And so now I'm glad I've got Joey running. Joey's an excellent, excellent runner. And again, most of these guys came close to laddering, as did Joey. Okay, next on the list, Douglas McRae, first year out to run. Douglas is a fine guy, out every day for practice. I enjoyed having him for the team. And finally, Tyler. Tyler's got a great running style. And it's kind of hard to describe, but it's fun to kind of look at. He's got a great long stride to him and a real high back kick. He's very distinctive. You can always spot him from real far away. Plus, he turns real red. I know it's embarrassing, but it's embarrassing. All right. Well, each of these guys earned a certificate. We'll pass them out. Spencer Palmer, Rishi, Drew Van, let's see, Trey had the lead, and Charles Young. These are some of the upper schoolers that ran cross country. Charles Young ran for us this year, first year out for cross country. And Charles split his time between gymnastics and cross country. Charles ran qualifying time to letter, but since he wasn't fully committed to cross country, we'll hopefully get him next year. Superb runner, and I hope he does come out for cross country on a permanent basis next year. Next on our list, Carter Harmon. Carter really dug in this year. I said to Carter at the beginning of the year, you know, this is your year to really do it. You kind of wandered around in cross country before sort of half-heartedly. And this year you can really run some good times if you took your mind what you said you knew. I had my doubts early on, but partway through the season, Carter really came on and really ran quite well for us. Next is a new student, Mike. Mike comes from Buffalo, New York, and thought, you know, this is kind of a nice thing. You know, a small school like St. Andrews can offer something to Mike. This was such a case where he decided to come out for some sports where he hadn't done before. He's a fast runner and earned a letter at our cross-country invitational in 21 minutes flat. Congratulations on the letter. He's the second-year cross-country guy and the most consistent practice. You can always depend on Ben to be out for practice. He's never missed a single practice, and he's always out there working quite hard. Ben's fastest time this year was just over 40 minutes, which is excellent. Thank you. Then next is Spencer Palmer. Spencer's a transfer student from French camp, and he won the state last year. They were state champions in French camp last year in 1A, and Spencer was a member of the top 17. His best race was just under 19 minutes, like an 18:59 in our own invitational. Spencer really had a lot. It's real tough. The toughest position is to be the 8th man in cross country, working very, very hard, almost getting to the top 7 position, and then missing out, right when it counts the most at the state championship. But Spencer, has to practice right through to the very end because some guy could get sick or hurt or whatever. And so he works real hard, does everything that everybody else does, but doesn't get that chance to run at the state championship, so it's a difficult position to be in. But Spencer really worked very, very, very hard in practice once the practice started. He deserves a lot of commendation for what he's done. First year letterman at St. Andrews Spencer. Next is Shin. We generally have a Japanese exchange student now in the cross-country program, and I always look forward to meeting the new, it's a real wonderful way to meet a new exchange student. Shin's command of English is excellent, and it's really fun to communicate and talk with him because he adds a lot to the team. And one of the things he added a lot to was the fact that he was very tired at the beginning of all the cross-country, but once he got in shape, he did quite well, and again earned a letter, ran a 20-30 something at Mississippi College. Top 7 guys, you need to come on up here.
Thank you, guys.
Red-haired volunteer for one of our runners. Oh, okay. Come on up. This is John Harris. Okay, our top 7 this year did the best job that any boys team has ever done at St. Andrews. Time and I scored this team against every other St. Andrews team that I've had in the last 11 years, and they won quite handily, I might add. The state championship was a wonderful thing for us. The guys ran, as I said, the best race they could possibly run. I always said all year that every one of them could run in the 18-minute region, which means they can run about 600 miles or faster. And it was kind of neat because no race ever came together. Some of them would run what they should have or could have, and others wouldn't. But finally, at the state championship, everything came together, and they just hauled from start to finish, which is just what a race should be. Starting with Jonathan Harris. Jonathan Harris PR'd with an 18:31. Jonathan's, 3rd year out for cross country, and I expect improvement next year. Another runner, 1st year runner for us, and of course all these guys earned letters, and they might have, I don't know, several years, but anyway, a letter. Chris Brillis is a transfer student. and ran a little bit cross country last year, but this year came out in the cross country. He's one of these total surprises. You don't know that he's coming. I heard about Spencer from Drew Van from years in the past. I said, oh, there's this guy you got to have on your team. But Chris Grillis was a complete surprise. Ran very well, and then finally finished up with his best performance at state. He was a lot of fun to have running with us too, because he kept us laughing. Another transfer student, Michael Meissner from Oregon. Michael's first day, he was interviewing and looking around, looking at different schools and so forth. And it was one of those blast furnace fall days. This poor guy comes from Oregon, lived there his whole life running cross country. And I made this stupid suggestion, well, come on out and practice with us. And we were running 1200s at the time. And he comes out and it's just like, I can barely walk outside without passing out. Here's this guy, never seen 90 degrees plus before in his life. And he about passes out at the same time. So it's a wonder he did run across country. I'm just glad he did. Next year, though, we're going to have to get him to come to meets on time. He also gives you heart attacks by not showing up to meets on time until the last few seconds. But Michael ran an 1840 something, and his best race was the probably an 1833. He also ran an 1808 here at St. Andrews, but I'm not sure of the course. So that stands anyway as PR, about an 1833. Clayton Coker. Clayton Coker was running this year kind of sick toward the end of the season. Always kind of drainage and so forth and so on. But I won't go into the gory details of the sickness. Oh, he looks so good now, though. Anyway, his PR, he PR'd at Choctaw Trails at a 17:36. And that's hard to do because Clayton's run a lot at Choctaw Trails and run very well. He's been past state champion, et cetera, et cetera. And so to run an 18:36 and break his old PR there was his best achievement this year. Okay. Next, Eli Lazarus. Eli came from nowhere. He's one of the guys. If you want to see improvement, take a look at Eli. Because last year, as he was running, I said, well, okay, Eli, he'll develop in a few years and he'll probably be a good runner by the time he's a junior or senior. And lo and behold, Eli just flew this year, right from the gun. Right from the first race, he was up there right with Gaines and some of the old cross-country runners. I thought, wow, and he showed a lot of dedication last year. And so consequently, amazing as it may sound, Eli gets our Most Improved Runner Award. Eli ran like an 1840 something at state for his PR. William Drinkwater, our 8th grader, ran cross country last year, and he established himself as all-state last year as a 7th grader. And William has a lot of fire inside of him and really likes to run hard and beat other people, which is just what we want. And William got injured partway through the season this year, and he ran a very, very strong race at state. While injured afterward, as he finished state, he could barely stand up with his hamstring bothering him so much. His best performance, he really had 2 best performances. The sort of showcase event was our own St. Andrews Invitational, when he finished right in the thick of the toughest runners, the strongest runners at any classification in the state of Mississippi. Finished 3rd, just behind the fella from Vicksburg, who was one of the cross-country leaders. And their old William Drinkwater was an 8th grade slip of a lad, running right behind him and looking tough as heck. And he continued that tradition and ran a 17:20. Well, I have to mention this. Clayton Coker's 17:36 was the 3rd fastest time for any St. Andrews runner. And William Drinkwater's at 17:20 at Choctaw Trails was the 2nd fastest time. And it's no doubt in my mind that both those guys will break 17:13, which is the standing record for St. Andrews runner at Choctaw Trails next year. William Drinkwater wins the Most Valuable Runner Award this year. We had two captains this year. Clayton Coker was one captain, and our second captain was Gaines Sturdivant. And Gaines brought a new dimension to cross country at St. Andrews, really from a track sprinter's point of view. He's got sprint speed. And as he brought that dimension, he brought new training to our runners. And as I said to Gaines, it would have broken my heart. He was right on the edge. He and Spencer Palmer and Chris Grillis and Eli were really battling for that 7th position, and would have broken my heart had Gaines been that 8th man and left out. I would have started crying night and day. Fortunately, that didn't happen for Gaines and for myself, and because these guys, the guys who stand up here, the times I mentioned, the 1720s and 1736s and 1831s, are really a direct result of Gaines bringing speed and strength into cross country, working on leg drills, and all these guys, including everybody else on stage here, be moaning and groaning, "Oh, Gaines, don't make us do another leg drill. Oh, Gaines, save us," And he's the guy that made us as fast as we are. And so I have not had another captain do the kind of things that Gaines has done this year. And the reason that we broke all our PRs at state was because of this guy, partially. Thank you very much. He wins the Saint Award.